Imagine this. You have enough walk-away money to quit any job you want before you even turn 30. That's not some fantasy. For the last decade, a movement inspired by a proven three-step path has shown people how to do exactly that. Most people think this path is some kind of secret. It's not. And in this video, I'm pulling back the curtain on the entire framework step by step. This isn't about getting rich quick or gambling on crypto. This is a real, battle-tested blueprint for life-changing freedom. The plan comes straight from the best-selling book, The Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins, which was originally a series of letters from the author to his own daughter. This is the exact advice he gave her to make sure she could live life on her own terms, not chained to a desk or a job she hated. So if you've ever felt trapped by your job, crushed by debt, or just dreamed of having more options in life, consider this your starting line. This is the roadmap that I wish I had when I was a teenager. Let's be real. The traditional path is broken. We're told to go to school, get a good job, and grind for 40 or 50 years before we can maybe enjoy life. We're pushed to take on debt for our education, our cars, and our homes. And before we know it, we're slaves to the monthly payments. It's a system that works great for the lenders and employers, but it keeps us on a treadmill, always chasing the next paycheck. But what if there was another way? What if instead of a 40-year plan, you had a 10-year plan? A decade of focused, intentional action that could buy you a lifetime of freedom. This is the core idea behind what's known as FU money. It's not about being aggressive. It's about having the power to say no. The power to walk away from a toxic boss, to turn down a project that doesn't align with your values, or to take a year off and travel the world without sweating the bills. Financial independence isn't just about retirement. It's about options. It's about owning the one thing you can never get back, your time. The author, J.L. Collins, got this. He didn't want his daughter to spend her life stressing about money. He wanted to give her a simple, almost automatic plan so she could build wealth in the background while she focused on actually living a fulfilling life. That's the dream we're chasing today. Not just wealth, but a rich, free life that you control. And the whole journey is built on 3 pillars. The first step, the absolute foundation of this entire plan, is what I call the debt-free fortress. Collins is ruthless on this point. Debt is the single biggest obstacle to building wealth. It's a trap that keeps you enslaved to your job and your lenders. You can't build a fortune when you're busy sending your money to someone else for stuff you bought years ago. So, how do you build this fortress? First, you avoid new debt like the plague. No credit card balances, no car loans, and you do everything in your power to minimize or kill student loans. If you're already in debt, this is mission number 1. You become a debt slayer. You audit every single dollar you owe and make a plan to pay it off as aggressively as you can. Every extra dollar you throw at your debt is another brick in your fortress wall. Second, and this one is a bit personal, Collins advises his daughter to steer clear of financially reckless people, and especially not to marry one. Your financial habits are contagious. If you're diligently saving and investing, but your partner is racking up debt, it's like trying to fill a bucket with a giant hole in it. This journey is tough enough solo. It's nearly impossible if your closest ally is working against you. Build your life with someone who shares your vision of freedom. And finally, you spend the first decade of your career working to become invaluable. Your ability to earn an income is your most powerful wealth building tool to start. Get so good at what you do that you're hard to replace. This gives you leverage, boosts your income, and speeds up your path to the next most explosive step. Building this fortress isn't glamorous. It requires discipline and saying no to the instant gratification our culture screams at us to buy. But the feeling of owning 100% of your paycheck with no interest payments draining your power is the first real taste of freedom. Once your fortress is secured and the debt is gone, it's time to launch the rocket. This is step 2, the 50% rocket fuel. This is where you see shocking results fast. Collins' instructions to his daughter was simple and brutal. Save and invest at least 50% of your income. I know what you're thinking. 50%? That's insane. For most people, it sounds crazy because we're taught to save 10 or 15%. But most people are on the 40-year plan, We're on the 10-year plan. A 50% savings rate means for every year you work, you're buying 1 year of freedom. Work for 10 years, saving half your income, and you've banked enough to cover your expenses for the next 10 years. And that's before we even talk about the magic of compound growth. So how do you actually pull this off? First, you have to track your spending. Every dollar. Use an app, a spreadsheet. I don't care. You can't optimize what you don't measure. You'll be floored when you see where your money is really going. Second, you have to consciously fight lifestyle inflation. This is the sneakiest trap. You get a raise and the temptation is to immediately upgrade your apartment, your car, your life. To build wealth this fast, you must resist. For these first 10 years, when your income goes up, pretend it didn't. Keep living like a broke student. That extra cash isn't for more stuff. It's rocket fuel for your freedom. Now, where does this 50% go? Collins makes it incredibly simple. He recommends a single low-cost, broad market index fund, like Vanguard's Total Stock Market Index Fund, VTSAX, or its ETF twin, VTI. The idea is, instead of trying to be a genius and pick winning stocks, you just buy a tiny piece of almost every public company in the US market. This way, you capture the growth of the entire economy. It's self-cleansing. Bad companies fail and fall out, while new, innovative ones are automatically added. You don't predict the future, you just own it. While historical data shows these funds have delivered strong long-term returns, it's important to remember that past performance doesn't guarantee future results. The mechanics are simple. First, max out any tax-advantaged accounts you have. If your job offers a 401k with a match, contribute enough to get the full match. It's literally free money. Then, fully fund a Roth IRA. After that, go back and max out the rest of your 401k. Anything left over from your 50% savings goal goes into a taxable brokerage account, invested in the exact same fund. This step is the engine of your wealth. If you've built your fortress and lit the rocket fuel, you've done the heavy lifting. Step 3 is the final, crucial piece that gets you to the finish line. I call it the adventure and freedom lock. This is all about mindset and sticking with it. First, you have to stay the course. Over 10 years, the market is going to have tantrums. There will be scary headlines, crashes, and recessions. People around you will panic and sell at the worst possible time. I've seen it. Your job? Do nothing. Just keep investing, month after month, no matter what. Collins famously says that during your wealth building years, you should celebrate market drops. Why? Because every dollar you invest is now buying more shares at a discount. You're buying your freedom on sale. Your ability to ignore the noise and just keep buying is what will make you rich. Second, this is about your life, not just your money. Collins urges his daughter to take time for inexpensive adventures. Enjoy your youth. The point of this path isn't to live a miserable, deprived life. It's about being intentional. Find joy in things that don't cost a fortune. Go hiking, travel to cheap countries, learn a new skill, build deep relationships. This prevents burnout and reminds you why you're on this journey. Finally, you need to know your freedom number. This is based on the 4% rule, a well-known historical guideline for retirement spending. The idea was that you could withdraw 4% of your portfolio in 1 year, adjust for inflation each year, and have a high probability of your money lasting 30 years. However, for a super long retirement like the one you're building, more recent research from firms like Morningstar suggests a more conservative starting rate is safer, somewhere in the 3.7 to 3.9% range for 2026. The math is simple. Take your annual expenses and multiply by 25. That's your target based on the original 4% rule. If you spend $40,000 a year, your freedom number is $1 million. Once your portfolio hits that number, you've locked in your freedom. The income your portfolio can generate is enough to cover your living expenses, potentially forever. You now have the true FU money. Your life is officially yours. Congratulations. So that's the playbook, the 3-step path to financial freedom before 30, straight from the simple path to wealth. This path isn't easy, but it is simple. It transformed the life of the author's daughter and has inspired a whole movement of people taking back control of their future. You don't need to be a Wall Street genius or get lucky on a stock pick. You just need a decade of discipline. 1 decade to buy back the rest of your life. The freedom this creates isn't about doing nothing on a beach. It's about having the power to build the life you actually want. To start a business, focus on your family, chase a creative passion, or work on things that matter to you without worrying about the paycheck. This path is yours for the taking. The journey starts now. My name is Stephen Kofer. Thanks for stopping by. If you're ready to start your 10-year path to freedom, hit that like button and subscribe for more no-nonsense guides to building real wealth. And for your first step, I want you to commit to one thing right now. In the comments below, tell me which step you're starting with today. Are you building your fortress, igniting the rocket fuel, or are you already on your way to the freedom lock? Want more personal finance guidance? Click on this playlist. I would love to be a part of your financial journey. Thanks for watching.